Sorry about that. There was a little spit on my one mouse I have embedded here. I have another one over here, but there's one over here, and I was trying to wipe it, and I clicked on something, and the stream got all screwy. So I forget where I was talking about here. So I'm back with a second part of Rings of Power. That's what it was. So the Rings of Power was the Amazon show that's based on the Lord of the Rings. And as I said, it just finished about a month or so ago. And they already start working on the second season now. And so they have announced some changes to the cast and some additions to the cast. The main villain of it has been recast. Not the main villain of this season. We'll have a different main villain next season, but the main villain of this season, who's still a character in the show, has been recast. And they've also cast 7 other people as well. So we're going to get a lot of new characters and new actors come up here. Now, it's not supposed to be out now till 2024 due to the special effects like that, even though they're filming it now. So we'll see what happens with that. So sorry about that again. Again, this is Dylan Knows, 476B. Make a date with Santa, which I'll talk about in a second. But sorry about that. Technical difficulties has caused me to do this. So this will be a quicker little stream here. So there's that. So I'm going to keep doing that. Amazon keeps getting all these stuff. As I said, they got the Mike Flanagan stuff in my last show. Mike Flanagan signed a deal with Amazon Prime. The WB has closed a deal with Amazon to develop new DC animated content. So any new DC animated films based on their books and stuff like that will be coming out on Amazon Prime in the near future. So that's kind of interesting as well. James Cameron has finished Avatar 3. He said that, we'll see where it goes after that, because he says he could do like 8 or 10 Avatar movies. And he has plans for 5 at least. And he depends on how well Avatar 2 does, because originally, remember, all of them were supposed to come out a year after each other. That ain't going to happen anymore. But he has finished production on Avatar 3. So we'll probably see that eventually, despite whatever may happen with the numbers here. But if the numbers do not get to a certain point in his arrogant head, he will not do Avatar 4 and 5, even though 3 has already done production. He will release that, though, because it's still going to make a lot of money, but he's expected to make more. And if it doesn't make what he expects, then he's not going to do 4 and 5. So whatever. I'm done with James Cameron anyway. A lot of the comments he's been making this week has made him be this arrogant asshole. And I was defending him during his Titanic speech, because I thought he was making a line from the movie. That's why he called himself the king of the world, and everybody was dissing him for that. But now just the stuff he's been saying, not just about Marvel, but about a bunch of stuff, being arrogant, and telling the production companies that they have to do what he says because he gave them this movie and all this stuff. It just shows a sign of arrogance that just makes me ill. So, on that note, planets scream as they are ripped apart, according to scientists. So when a planet's ripped apart by meteors or explodes by a black hole, whatever, the planet actually screams. I don't know how they figured that out. Do I want to know how they figured that out? I don't know. It's just, what? WB keeps losing stuff. Legendary, the production company that's done the new kaiju movies and a bunch of other stuff as well, has signed on with Sony. They had a deal with Warner Brothers for a while, but now Legendary will only go through Sony now. So Sony's in good shape there now too, because they're getting this now. Ghostbusters Afterlife, which was an outstanding movie, is getting a sequel called Firehouse as of now. And it is now, I got really good news about this, it is now going to come out 1 year from today. Well, not from today, but from this month. The sequel is due out December of 2023, which I absolutely love, because I love the movie and I want to see more of the characters, stuff like that. That means they got to start filming it and then the stuff like that. So hopefully they'll be able to make their date. So that'll be great to see that. They've got to film, because Finn has got to be working on Stranger Things starting in May. So probably going to start working on it in January, probably, to film that, and then let him move on to doing Stranger Things. Eggnog French toast. I love eggnog, and eggnog French toast actually sounds pretty good. There's my other eggnog story. So we'll see how that goes with that. The James Webb Telescope took the first clear pictures of Titan, which makes it look a hell of a lot like Earth, even though you don't really see a lot. You can see the land and you can see the liquid, but it looks like from like what land and liquid looks like from Earth. This is what it looks like on Titan. So that's kind of cool. Some local news: pickleball, which I have no desire to learn or know about, is opening a venue in Timonium, which is right down the road, about 20 minutes from here. So that's good on that. Could Guillermo del Toro, who's at the Mountains of Madness, based on the H.P. Lovecraft Cthulhu stuff, he's been trying to get a live action film made of this for years, and it is the one thing that all geeks want to kind of see. But he keeps, the production companies it's going to cost a lot of money to make it, and production companies do not want to spend that much money on something that might not make the money back because it's such a weird, crazy, wild stuff. But he has a real passion for it. And his Pinocchio, which was done in stop motion, is getting lots of rave reviews nowadays. So he started thinking maybe I could do At the Mountain of Madness as a stop motion film. And that's got me thinking, it's like that could actually be kind of good because it could probably cost less to make it. With that, the special effects will be done by the stop motion characters. So it won't cost as much. So that might actually be a good cost saving. This is what you need to do. If you have a passion about something, you figure out a way to do it. Francis Ford Coppola's had a passion for this one movie he's been wanting to make for decades, and he's finally making it right now because he worked out issues and stuff like that. So good on that. In bad news idea, Easy Rider reboot is in development. I don't think you can do a remake or reboot of Easy Rider because that was such a 60s/70s sort of era film that I don't know how you would make it into a contemporary sort of film. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. We're continuing the turning your childhood lovable stuff into horror icons. We had Winnie the Pooh get turned into a serial murderer. Now we have the Mean One, which I talked about, when they announced it on my show a few weeks ago. But now we have a trailer for the Mean One, which has the Grinch actually being a serial killer as well. I should say more of a spree killer, but we saw the videos of that. So it's the Grinch killing people now instead of stealing Christmas. So the first trailer for that came out. Bambi is supposedly getting a horror reboot as well, which is just like, really? Yeah, Bambi getting a serial killer sort of reboot sort of thing. That's just, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but okay, if we do it that way. Better Watch Out is a more demented take on Home Alone, where I guess the kid, instead of just injuring the villains, actually kills them. Crazy world we're living in, man. Crazy, crazy world. So crazy that back in the 70s, they used to have something advertised in magazines called the Love Rug, where you can put the love rug down in front of a fireplace and make sweet, sweet love. It was an actual advertisement that someone posted. So the Love Rug. Here's another good one. This is probably, I don't think this is fake, but I think someone who was probably an ad person doesn't like gingerbread houses or Christmas or whatever, and created an ad for a gingerbread house and called it Santa's Satanic Sex Shop, but it's a gingerbread house. Okay. Speaking of that, hence the name of this episode, Make a Date with Santa. There's also a place where, usually people go to get pictures taken with Santa. He's sitting in a chair and kids usually do it, but there is a place where somebody posted a picture. It says, make a date with Santa. And it's a double bed. Not sure what that means, but it's a thing. I don't know. I can't find that one, so I'll find that again there. Also, Santa's Bake Shop cookie donut. I'm sorry, Bake Shop Donuts is the new holiday donut from Krispy Kreme. So they're on top of things as well. I thought I had it somewhere. I thought I wrote it down. Maybe I'll find it eventually. Make it. Yeah, you can spend. No. Speaking of making a date with Santa, but this isn't as creepy as that. You can spend a holiday. You can spend a holiday. You can have a. I should say you can have a holiday experience by spending a memorable holiday in Mariah Carey's New York City penthouse. Now, I don't know what that means. I think it's a competition. You sign up for it, and they'll draw a winner, and then there'll be you'll be able to have a holiday experience in Mariah Carey's penthouse. Don't know if she's going to sing to you and just you, or her penthouse is just decorated. It's got views of New York City, and you're just using it as like what is that? Like a BYUB or whatever, a BBY or whatever. I don't know. Mason Lee will be playing Bruce Lee in a new biopic of Bruce Lee. So we get another one of those. Is Aaron Taylor Johnson going to be the next James Bond? There was he did an audition for James Bond, and people seem to think that he nailed it pretty good. And the thing is, I don't think he's British. He might be, but he's the guy who played Quicksilver in Avengers: Age of Ultron, was in the original Godzilla 2015 movie, I guess. It was also in Kick-Ass and was one of REM's videos as well. Uberlin, which is outstanding, where he's dancing and stuff like that, is an outstanding video. But apparently I don't think he's British, but maybe he is. Let's look that up. But he is he auditioned for he's an English actor. Yeah, I did not know that. Let's see, where was he born in? Aaron Perry Johnson was born in High Wycombe, Buckinghamshire, England. Okay, so he is English. So, okay, never mind then. So I did not know he was English. But there we go. So he is auditioning for James Bond. And could he be the next James Bond? I don't know, but I mean, he's got the athletic build for it. He's done action films before. He's not old, but he's also not too young. So, but you can sign him up for a long period of time. If he does really well and makes a lot of money for you, you can keep him under contract for about as long as you did Sean Connery. So why not? So we'll see. Let's do some science now. Actually, before we do science, Baz Luhrmann is going to release a 4-hour cut of his Elvis movie, which will include the full Elvis concerts that he filmed with his actor, Austin Butler, I believe his name is. So that's interesting, a 4-hour cut of Elvis. Also, Stuffed Puffs Big Bite Cinnamon Toast Crunch Filled Marshmallows is a new thing you can have for your holidays now. Now we're getting to science. German researchers have heated a nuclear fusion reactor to 54 million degrees Fahrenheit. That's a lot of heat. Metal found in a Somalian meteorite contains 2 minerals that are not found on Earth. So obviously they're from outer space and are only in space right now. Bats have a wider vocal range than Mariah Carey does. It's 7 octaves, so that's interesting. And of course they are. Japanese railway companies have created and are using giant humanoid-looking robots to fix their power lines, because, why not? Japan is also sending a moon lander to the moon to actually land on the moon and get samples and stuff like that. So that could be kind of interesting as well. New diamond wafers from Japan can hold 1 billion Blu-ray discs on one wafer. That's a lot of space to put stuff like that. I think that's all the Japanese stuff. But this isn't Japanese, but this is science stuff. A project lets a houseplant control a robot arm equipped with machete. That's not going to end well. A robotic fish are going to be powered by robot blood and not batteries. I mean, what the hell is robot blood, but and a robotic fish? I mean, why do you need a robotic fish? I don't know. Anything else science related? Oh, there it is. Make a date with Santa. Yep. Yeah, Dad creates a beeping Easter egg for blind kids so that they can have their own Easter egg hunts by listening for the beep. That's kind of a neat idea. Man hides a computer playing the game Doom inside a candy bar. I don't know how that happened, but he did. Scientists have also converted carbon dioxide into clean air. So that's kind of interesting to see that happen. So that's interesting as well. A man won his legal right to not have fun at work after his work people were telling him, kind of forcing him to go out and party after hours with the rest of the office as a way to build teamwork and stuff like that. But he didn't want to do that. And they were, being very threatening and stuff like that. So he sued them and he won. So good on that. A donut bagel holster is now a thing where you stick it on here and you can stick like a dozen donuts on there and just eat them whenever you want to. That's good for Homer Simpson, but that's something out there as well. Thanksgiving was last week. Somebody decided that it would be kind of cool to stuff their turkey with a DiGiorno pizza. It's not altogether awful now, is it? That'd be kind of cool, right? I think it's kind of cool. Pepsi Nutmeg is the new holiday Pepsi coming out. Don't know if and when it's going to be released. When I read the article, they said it should be released soon worldwide, and not like one of those where you have to order it online or something like that. So that could be a rather unique tasting one. Again, if I do come across a Pepsi Nutmeg, I will drink it here for the first time ever on my show and give you my immediate take on it. Kate Bishop, Shailene Woodward will be appearing in Ant-Man 3. Of course she will, because she's a member of the Young Avengers, and so is Cassie, Ant-Man's daughter, I should say, excuse me. So, of course, she'll show up probably at the end to have her join Young Avengers, whatever. All categories of the Oscars will be broadcast live next year. Last year they wanted, or this past year, where they were trying to test the waters and stuff, they took some of the lesser ones and did them off camera and then showed the winner and just a bit of their speech in between commercial breaks, stuff like that. Now you're actually going to see it live, which I think is the best thing to do. So move it on like that. The trailer for the second Yellowstone spinoff, 1923, which is continuing the tracking of the Yellowstone Ranch, and this one stars Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford, was released, and it has a date of December 18th coming out on Paramount. Apparently, John Malkovich was going to be the Vulture in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire, but it never came to fruition. But think about it, John Malkovich actually would have probably been a really good Vulture, to think about it. And they showed what his Vulture costume would have looked like. They released some of the artwork of that. Nicole Kidman stuns one of her best friends, Hugh Jackman, with a $100,000 charity donation during the Music Man. During the Music Man, I guess, the show that Hugh Jackman's been working on, he wants to make money for a charity. So at the end of the show, he does an impromptu, auction. If you want to help these kids, we'll auction off our costumes and stuff like that. He was surprised because he didn't know she was at the show. He was surprised by a $100,000. I just had it there. $100,000 charity donation from one of his close friends, Nicole Kidman, who was at the show, watching the show, to buy his hat. So he was extraordinarily taken by that, and they are good friends. So That's kind of nice. The trailer for the Night at the Museum animated series debuted this week as well. That's on Disney Plus, I believe, coming up really soon. Felicia Day, one of my favorite actresses, is going to be voicing Ghoulia Yelps in a new Monster High animated film. That's really kind of cool. And it's a shame my daughter no longer watches that because I would like to hear that. Scarlett Johansson is going to be doing her first ever TV show. It's more of a TV limited series called Just Cause. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. She plays a newspaper reporter sent to cover the last days of a death row inmate. So it's going to be one of those types of things. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson finally got the nerve up to return to the shop where he shoplifted almost every day during his teenage years. And he wanted to make amends, so he paid off everything that he stole and then bought a bunch of other stuff from the shop as well. So the shop would, make its money back. During last week's Denver Broncos Cleveland Browns football game at Cleveland Stadium, somehow a skunk made its way into Brown Stadium and was hanging around in the stadium seating with the regular fans. So still know how that happened, but it's something that happened. A bacteria was discovered in 1976 that is able to change metal into gold. I'm surprised it hasn't been announced until now, since they discovered it in 76. The Gen V trailer, which is a spinoff of The Boys, made its debut this week as well. And finally, after tonight's technical difficulty episode, Rogue One screenwriter pitched a Star Wars show where rebels would be hunting down Imperial fugitives. And I think that would have been kind of a neat little show if they ever got it off the ground, but it is not going to happen. So that's it. That is this week's episode. So if I wouldn't have had that technical difficulties, we would have been about an hour and 24 minutes, which is about normal. But unfortunately, it's broken up into 2 episodes because I'm a stupid moron. Anywho, that is the first weekend of December. It is officially December 4th. Tomorrow it is Krampusnacht Eve. So celebrate like that. If you're a Fortnite fan, you can stay up till 3 a.m. and new Fortnite will be popping up there. I'll be watching football later today. I need to go out and get groceries, maybe put up some Christmas stuff. And next week is my daughter's birthday. So next week she's also working on our Eagle project. So we'll see what's going on next week. So thanks for watching. And sorry for the technical difficulties, and have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your Krampusnacht Eve, and just have fun. All right, y'all. I'm going to see if I can hit this just right. I love hitting it when everything's real close here. 4, 3, 2, 1, boom.